Hey everyone, I'm back with Uta Hagen's A Challenge for the Actor. Today we are covering Chapter 7, The Psychological Senses. The Psychological Senses kind of does a quick little recap of Chapters 5 and 6 and intertwines it all together in this very important section. So I'll go back through Chapters 5 and 6 really quick. Chapter 5 was titled Transference, and in Transference, Uta Hagen suggests that we take personalities that we have adopted into our everyday life and some events from it and integrate them appropriately into the role in which we've been assigned. And then Chapter 6, she goes a little bit deeper and she talks about the physical senses, where she talks about sight, smell, sound, taste, and touch. And she talks about those things, kind of recalling our memory. She brings that back, and she says, therefore, the five senses are the avenues of our psychological and physical perceptions. The key word there is physical. She kind of touches on memory, which is psychologically based in Chapter 6. And this time she brings in physical perceptions. So the gist of this chapter is basically that once we are able to associate a sensation through one of our five senses, we tend to have a physical reaction that will either initiate or emphasize a feeling in which the character is going through. So, for example, like smelling bacon. If you really like bacon, and you wake up to it, your mom's out there in the kitchen, she's cooking bacon, and you're not gonna wake up and go, "Is that bacon? Is mom cooking bacon?" It looks very plain and very robotic. You're going to do something physical. You might go, "It's bacon," like really freak out about bacon. It's bacon. Or chocolate or something like that. And you smell chocolate and you're just like, chocolate, I'm about to get down with chocolate. Or you hear something kind of familiar, you hear an old friend's whistle or something, and you're not gonna, go, is that my friend? Doth my ears deceive me? Is my friend here? No, you're going to go, oh my God, and you get really excited, So that kind of action based off of the stimulant that you just received through your senses is going to initiate and emphasize that feeling that you're going to have. So you kind of want to either be able to recall, something that is familiar, that you can associate your personal situations with the situations that your role is in. Did that make sense? And then she kind of goes on about feeling, and she brings up the definition of feeling through her dictionary, and it says a psychic and physical reaction subjectively experienced, which involves psychological changes that prepare the body for vigorous action. So, like I said, you might be like reading or something like that, and then you're chewing your gum and you kind of realize, oh, this gum, it tastes just terrible, so it's starting to taste really bad. You might just like, that's my baby. So you might like make a face while you're reading and go, there's the action right there. The feeling is coming off because the action is there. The action is there because the sensation that you're feeling is there. So, you'll the vigorous action or the psychological change was basically from you just kind of, reading and understanding and interpreting and everything else. And then all of a sudden something happens, and then just like the whole thing just changes. And then she expresses the importance of our emotions and how we channel those emotions, if at all sometimes, or if too much. She talks about American culture and how we've kind of been taught to suppress our emotions. Um, you know, like if we laugh too hard or something like that, we feel like we're going to be judged if we laugh too hard. Um, so we just won't laugh as hard. We might go, that's funny, or just LOL. That's kind of the way things are now. We don't actually laugh the way that we really want to laugh, even if we're in our own homes, in our own bedrooms. We might just we might laugh really hard, but we're not going to literally laugh out loud. We're not going to be so loud because we know we're going to attract attention, and that kind of attention is, why are you laughing so loud, or like, what's so funny, and then you automatically feel judged, and nobody wants to feel that way. And so it's kind of like a human condition now that we suppress our feelings, or we don't want to cry. We don't want to cry at work, when someone's really hurt our feelings, or we just can't finish this project, or there's just a lot of pressure, there's too many deadlines, or something like that is going on. And so we just want to cry and be angry and be upset, but we're encouraged not to. We're encouraged to maintain professionalism and continue about our day as if nothing's wrong. And then of course we have things like job interviews that are very stressful, and of course we want to stay professional in those circumstances. And so we kind of tend to be a little robotic, and we try not to do something that's going to turn off, whether it's like the casting director, the agent that you're applying for, or the current director that you're working with, or even a friend that you think, oh, they might cast me because, they're my friend, and then they don't, even though are trying to be that same friend that they've always known. There's always a little bit of anxiety there that causes you to turn into this like professional robot, like straight up and everything, like, hi, how are you, best friend? You just like stick out your hand, like as if you're in a professional meeting, because you want to show that you can be a certain way, and you can be other ways, and they already know you can be other ways, but the anxiety is still there, and so you're still suppressing all of your emotions. And the problem with that is that once we suppress our emotions so much, we hello baby, we tend to practice that in our craft as well, and we do that during an audition because we want to seem as human-like as possible. However, when we do that, we take that human social norm and what's accepted out in society, and we bring that into the audition room, or we bring that into our roles, and then they look robotic, and they don't look like, they don't look very human at all. A film that comes to my mind is oh gosh, it just completely escaped me. Tom Hanks in Captain, oh my gosh, okay, you know what I'm talking about. But at the very end, he's in this state where he is completely overwhelmed. He's got other people's bodily liquids on him, and he's overwhelmed with like disbelief, first of all, that he even got rescued at all, and he's in absolute tears, and he just like can't believe he's witnessed what he's just witnessed, and he's just breaking down. And we don't break down like that. We can't, there's almost no way we can possibly recall living that kind of a situation, unless it's a real traumatic experience, which Uta Hagen does suggest that we don't relive traumatic experiences because it can cause us to have uncontrollable emotions. Now, of course, a professional actor such as Tom Hanks could control his emotions. Where he got those emotions from, who knows? That's within his own technique. But those kinds of things are emotions that are often suppressed. No one really just breaks down unless they are heavily trained or unless they are very in tune with themselves and they're comfortable expressing emotions like just like that. Just, they're good with laughing out loud. They're good with crying in front of other people. They're good with showing how angry they can be or anything like that. Now, I'm not saying to play emotions, but what I am suggesting is that we embrace the sensations that are given to us, that are given into the roles of the character as well as our real lives, and we allow those feelings to kind of simmer, to kind of marinate into our bodies and into our psychological beings. It gives for a stronger and more truthful performance, because the point is that we as actors need to give truthful human performances. If it's too much, it literally looks like an act, and it looks bad, quite frankly. If something's really not funny to the actor per se, and something funny happens in the play, you're gonna see that. But if the actor substitutes that joke with another joke that they think is just absolutely hysterical, then that laugh is going to come out. That's where the imagination part comes in. That's where the transference comes in, where you use your imagination from other events or other happenings in your life that you can kind of substitute them for, so that you can give a more truthful experience and performance. And she also discusses that emotions are furthered by the actions, which is very true. As I mentioned in the beginning, if you get excited about something, you're gonna, kind of open up your face and go, oh my gosh. You're not gonna go, wow, I'm so excited for this. Like, there's nothing going on in my face. You're gonna like open up your body, and your shoulders are gonna heighten and things like that, things that actually excite you. Like if I thought about like seeing like these gorgeous pairs of shoes, I'm gonna go, like, things are just gonna start happening to my body. But as they happen to my body, the emotion comes out naturally, because that's what naturally would happen if I was excited about a pair of shoes. So if you have a difficult time reaching some of those emotions, you want to recall events in which you became that level of excited or, laughing or crying or whatever. And you want to either substitute that through transference, you want to find the physical senses, and then react off of that, and then the emotions will come out more naturally instead of you just playing along with the emotions, because you don't want to do that. If you just play sad, like, it's just, like I said, it looks underplayed or it looks overplayed. And if it's either of those two things and you can't find that truthful, meaningful balance, it's just going to look fake. A suggestion that Uta Hagen makes is that you take one of your sensations, the one that is the strongest one for you. For her, it was sight. I think for me, it might be sound. I'm pretty sensitive with my ears. What is that sound? See, I'm hearing something right now. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it either sounds like a howling dog or a screaming child. And now the sound is gone. Of course it is. Okay, so I'm pretty sensitive with my ears. But she says to pick one of your senses and use that to stimulate a strong sense of recall. In the event, of course, that either your partner's not giving you enough, or you can't seem to bring your imagination into your role, or you're just having a difficult time bringing up that emotion, is to bring something up within yourself that causes you to substitute that situation so that you can give a more truthful performance. So yeah, do your homework a little more homework. on transferring certain events in your life that make you feel certain ways. Go through some scripts, maybe some old scripts that you've been through, or like a script online or something that you found, or something, and act like you're assigned to that role. And, think, okay, this person must be feeling this way. They're feeling disappointed. Now, can I relate to this on a personal level? Can I recall this? Instead of recalling the emotion, try to think about like something you saw in that time that you were disappointed, or something you had heard, or something you were smelling, if you were eating something at the time, or you were, feeling something, like with your hands, or something brushed up against your face, or something like that. And yeah, try to recall something that stimulates your senses, that you go, oh yeah, I remember seeing that stain on the wall, and then think about that stain on the wall as being kind of like the symbol, so to speak, of that recalled memory. And hopefully that'll bring up a physical reaction from you, because you'll remember one of the senses, and it'll bring the feeling, which will cause a physical reaction, which will bring out the emotion, a more truthful performance. It's all connected. It's beautiful. It's really quite beautiful. I think that I'm probably going to make like I don't know, either a triangle or like a flow chart or something like that to explain these chapters, because 5, 6, and 7, they're all intertwined and they all work very, very well together. So that is it for this one. Ask me any questions if you have any questions about it. It kind of gets more and more complicated down the line. Next week, it'll be animation. That'll be interesting, because how do we become animation?